In one day, we probably listen to as much content as someone would have listened to in like 1 month 50 years ago. See, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing. It provides us with a huge possibility of massive improvement, massive progression in our lives. But on the other hand, it's also a huge opportunity to waste your life listening to other people. I've found that, especially for me, right, I spend so much time listening to other people, them telling me what I should do, what I shouldn't do, that I rarely ever listen to myself. I rarely ever sit down and ask myself, Takura, what should you do? The thing is, when you're always listening to other people about what you should do and never listening to yourself, it's like you're subconsciously telling yourself that I shouldn't be trusted. What I say isn't as important as what these people say. You know what? They may be in a better position than you, and most times you actually should listen to them, but you should also listen to yourself. I think that every great individual listens to themselves. To be great, to do things that are unordinary, right? You can't listen to everyone else because everyone else just does average things. Most people are mediocre. So the fact that they've achieved something great shows that they listen to something within themselves. Something that was telling them, okay, don't listen to those guys, listen to me. Do you think that Albert Einstein spent his whole day listening to podcasts? Like, they probably weren't podcasts back then. But do you think he spent his whole day listening to other people? Or he listened to himself and he was like, you know what, there's a formula here I can find about the law of relativity or whatever it was. Do you think Thomas Edison listened to other people when they were telling him that you can't make light, you can't make these light bulbs? Do you think Henry Ford was listening to other people when they told him that, you know, you come from a poor background, you're not going to be able to make one of the biggest automobile companies of your time? If you want to achieve something, you can't be listening to everyone. You can't be listening to most of these people. There will come a point in your life where you have to listen to yourself, and where you're going to have to trust yourself over most human beings. And when I say listen to yourself, I don't mean listen to that voice that tells you to stay in bed. Because I believe that we have two voices. We have the voice of mediocrity, and we have the voice that pushes us to reach our best potential. And whichever voice is louder depends on the way you live your life and the voice that you listen to more. But every single human being has a voice that pushes them to do more. See, when you lie in bed every morning, I can guarantee that it isn't just one voice saying, you know, let me stay in bed, let me do this and that. There's another voice. It's probably more quiet. It's like a whisper, and it tells you, get up, let's start working, go journal, go do some outreach for this business. The voice may be quiet in comparison to that thunderous voice of mediocrity, but the voice is there. And that voice is a voice you should listen to. That's the voice that I'm referring to when I say listen to yourself. Because that voice, I think, is God-given, and everyone's voice is tailor-made to what God has planned for them to do. We all have a different purpose on this life, so our voice won't be the same as someone else's. And when I say that, it even becomes more stupid to constantly listen to what someone else tells you to do, because they have a purpose for their life, a purpose that's different than yours, an end goal that is different than the one that you have envisioned for yourself. So everything they tell you is tainted by the goals that they have for themselves. And that isn't wrong, because everyone's like that. But you should keep that in mind when you're constantly listening to what other people are telling you to do. Because everything they say is based on what they want to achieve. It may not be 100% based, but I can guarantee you at the very least it's 1% based. For those of you who don't know, last year I made the decision not to go to uni and to start a YouTube channel. I had 50 something subscribers when I made that choice, but there was a voice that said, do this, don't do the normal path. You know, it took all my might to listen to that small voice. I think I filled out a full journal, like one of these journals here. I actually have it right here. One of these journals, like all these pages were filled out about the decision of going to uni. Everyone around me was saying that, you should just do what everyone else is doing. You can always do it later on. And there was just a murmur within my soul saying, risk. Only those who risk are truly free. And you know what? With me listening to that murmur in my soul will pay off, time will tell. I have an uncanny feeling that it will pay off. But hey, that's just merely talk for now. Give me 2 years, 3 years, we'll see what I was saying. But anyways, the point is, listen to yourself. Because you are as important as these other people. You have the potential to be as important as these people who are more important than you. So listen to yourself. So that at the very least, you're not just a byproduct of what everyone's told you. You are your own person. But anyways, I'll catch you, gents. Cheers.